Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.
Welcome to Harry Potter and the Anxious Millennials, a show where we delve week by week into each chapter of the Harry Potter series. Take two, we're aware of our zits.
Take two, we're aware of the zits. We know, okay? We know. You don't have to remind us. We don't want to hear it. Other than that, Adam, how are you doing over there? You had a very special visitor today. Friend of the pod.
Yes.
Mother of the pod.
My mom is in town. Behind me in that open space was where mere minutes ago was a air mattress.
Like, what? Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
I took it down because she's leaving today, so see ya.
Wait, where is she right now? Hanging out with RJ?
She knows the Bishop of Chicago.
Canterbury.
And his wife.
Of course.
Yes. So after church, they went out to brunch.
Oh my God, look at her. Little deacon hanging out with her bishop friend.
Ari?
Adam?
How are we?
I'm good. We just got back from Wales. So we were celebrating our 1 year wedding anniversary.
What's their accent? What's the Welsh accent?
Oh, great. Don't ask me.
No, yeah, go ahead and do it. Do it.
I can tell you, though, some of the towns that we drove past.
Oh, yeah.
There was a town called Pantyfried.
Sure.
It'll always be in Welsh and then have like the English translation underneath, which I honestly think is good. Like I'm like, yeah, keep Welsh alive, like their language and everything.
Yeah.
But then for the towns, obviously you don't have that, so it'll just be like a Welsh town that you're like, I have no idea how to pronounce this because I don't speak Welsh and I don't want to be offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's always like it'll always be like extra L's and then like a like extra. A Y where an I would be, like it was always like that, where you were kind of like, oh. But it was a really nice time. It did rain the whole time, so I would like to go back when it's not like raining the entire time. But it was still beautiful. It's like so green there, lots of rolling hills, lots of farm terrain.
This episode brought to you by Walgreens Allergy Relief. Walgreens.
I was gonna say Zyrtec, but it's not
on the corner
Zyrtec.
of Happy and Healthy. Walgreens.
Well, this week, I'm just going to get right into it.
Sure.
Yeah. And this week we read chapter 34 called The Department of Mysteries. Adam, what happens in this chapter? He was too stunned to speak.
Harry, Ron, Hermione, Ginny, Luna, Neville traverse to the Ministry of Magic.
Ministry of Magic.
They uncover secrets in the Department of Mysteries. Mm-hmm. And they are caught at the end of the chapter.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. I would like to say, I feel like I should make this announcement in the last chapter. People are probably already coming for me, but in the last chapter, I forgot to mention that Neville can also see the Thestrals, so I apologize. It is Harry, Luna, and Neville that can see them. Yes. I think I said Harry and Luna are the only ones that can see it. It is Neville as well. I apologize.
Neville also. Okay, so the let me open my why am I on this page? I need to be on this one. Okay. So they get on these Thestrals, right? Harry, Neville, Luna hop right on. First of all, I love that Luna is riding side saddle. That's my absolute favorite
Mary Poppins. It gave me Mary Poppins.
Yes. I don't know how to explain to Harry that his friends cannot see these because he's like shocked that they haven't boarded their Thestrals. And I'm like, first of all, couldn't they just have put like one other person on, like, couldn't they have rode in teams on one Thestral?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't team up.
I feel like that would have been safer.
It's because they just so skinty, the horsies. They're just a skinny horsey.
Skinny little goose. So fine. So they finally get on. Everybody gets on their thestrals. They take off immediately. Oh, no, they don't. Sorry, I want to make this note too. Ron says, if I could just see it. And Harry darkly retorts, you'd better hope it stays invisible. And I was like, you're an asshole. Like, why are you? Truly, I want to know why you're like this. I was reading this. My mom was here last night, as I said. She was over here, and I like must have had a reaction when I read it because I went to go write a note in my laptop. And she was like, oh, what happened? And I was like, it's just this moment where, and I told her what happened. And I was like, she just writes Harry to be like this little fucking asshole. And she was like, yeah, because she's probably basing it on herself and she's an asshole. And I was like, oh.
Oh my God, Nan. Nan just unlocked the code, y'all. You heard it here first. Maybe that's Adam, honestly. Maybe it's like her, from her perspective, how she would act in a situation like this.
Or how she wishes she could act more outwardly.
Maybe. Yeah. Which, girl, why would you want to act like that?
No one. In what world are you a person who has experienced loss and seen it in real life and then had this, like, I don't even want to call it a gift of being able to see a creature because you experienced that loss?
Right.
Are you not able to sympathize with the person who just can't see it and is like, I'm supposed to ride a creature that I cannot see?
Yeah.
And not able to understand that he's just saying, like, it would be way more helpful in this moment. I just want to be able to see what's going on.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
That's what he's saying. In what world are you taking that as, God, I hope I watch someone die? Harry Potter?
Just please stop. You know what your friend is trying to say in this moment. He can't see something that he's having to climb onto. If this was Harry, he would be such an asshole about it too.
You like, this is such a complete purposeful misunderstanding of what Ron is saying.
But I feel like Harry's like that on purpose. He does that on purpose.
We're going to end this fucking series, and my whole takeaway is going to be like, Harry Potter's a mean, horrible person.
That's what the comment today is about, too.
Yeah. So anyway, so Harry's back on his thestral. He whispers where to go to the Ministry of Magic.
His little ear. And the little horsey ear.
And it rockets into the sky, which nearly unseats him. So basically, they don't like, it's not like a hippogriff where it like
takes off,
has an ascent. It's just like,
phew, yeah.
Which is wild.
A torpedo.
And then all I can think about is like, how fucking horrifying this would be if you are on something you can't see. Yeah. I don't care if I can feel it, right? Like they can obviously
riding in
feel,
the air. Yeah, you could feel I know. I would be holding on the whole neck.
Around
I would be
the
holding
neck.
onto the whole neck.
That's all I could think about the whole time.
Yeah, same.
So they leave and it is still daylight out because while they're flying over England is when like twilight hits, and then finally when they arrive, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
So there's at least 2-3 hours in the air.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah, well, that's what I was like. So we've done the math in terms of when we took the train to Edinburgh, which is like South Scotland.
It's not even where Hogwarts would be.
And not even from London. So that's why I'm really confused. Like, I'm like, how fast are these moving? Because if we're taking a train from the Midlands to Edinburgh and that takes 4 hours, sure, maybe you can move faster than a train because you're flying. But still,
and
I'm
you're
like,
a magical creature, but whatever.
And maybe, and you're a magical creature, fine. But like, you still, I don't think magical creatures, unless they're just straight up like apparating through the air, which this horse isn't. I'm like, that's going to take you at least like 5 to 6 hours of flying in the air. It has to. A flight from like London to Edinburgh is like an hour, I think. But once again, that's an actual plane.
if they land when they do and there's like no one on the street, there's no one around.
Yeah.
Maybe it's probably like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah. I would believe that. I'd believe it took them that long.
So crazy.
Yeah.
That they were
but that means
they were up in the sky for that long.
That's why I don't really believe. I don't believe it. It's too convenient. Like I'm like, you put the castle in Scotland. She didn't say anything in terms of like hours later, but that's what I was like. Well, it had to be hours though.
It also doesn't make sense. Okay, can we talk about this? Can we say this?
Yeah.
Do you know what's faster? Again, I'm coming to the thing that she continues to use in the series. She used it, and then she never wants to use it at opportune times. Do you know what's faster than traveling by Thestral, Ari?
I'm going to guess you're going to say the Flu Network.
The Flu Network that is now not being
guarded.
Supervised.
Yeah.
The one that is supervised is now just free to use because the bitch is in the woods.
Yeah. God knows what's going on, but
and
she's
you,
in
Harry, know that you can Ministry of Magic because you went to the Ministry and saw all the fireplaces.
Yeah, the Flu Network section, basically. I don't know. I mean, I think that this is the thing that we always come back to, that the Flu Network does not get utilized nearly as much as it should, and it is shocking.
It's so crazy. It is the most, like, his whole thing is he wants to get there as fast as possible, so he takes, of the options currently available to him, he takes the longer one.
Yeah.
You know what you could also do? You know what the other option would be? You could go to Hogsmeade and wave down the night bus. That's also another option you would have had. And it probably
the night bus would probably come into the Forbidden Forest, girl, if you really wanted it to.
I mean, goofy. Very goofy.
Yeah.
I think it's very cool to introduce the Thestrals in this book and then to use them at the end of the book. I like that bookend.
Yeah, great. Full circle moment. I see that. I appreciate it, but
I also like the idea of you can't, only some people can see them because then some of them, like Ron, when they disembark, is fully
yeah, never again. Yeah, I'm never doing this ever again.
Yeah. So I like all of that. I just it's just very is anyone thinking? Is anyone using their brain?
Yeah, come on now.
It's fine.
Hermione, where were you when we needed you, girl?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? No, I'm not going to do that to her. It's not her responsibility all the time. It's not her responsibility to take care of these idiots.
Right. They go on these Thestrals. They go to London, blah, blah, blah. They finally land. Another question I have about Thestrals.
Yeah.
Can Muggles who have seen people die see Thestrals?
So my theory is yes, because how hilarious would it be if you were walking down an alley, you're walking around London, excuse me, and then you look down an alleyway and you see 6 of these horses. I just liked the idea of that. So I was like, but I could also see it only being magical people that can see them.
Sure.
I could totally see it.
You definitely would see the 6 of them straddling something flying through the sky.
That's what I was thinking when they were flying through the air. The person in the car driving down the road, I was imagining them being like, what the? What is going on? Yeah, just in the air. Yes. Yeah, around the neck, because that is the only way to fly on one. Oh my gosh.
So stupid. Listeners, if you're only listening, you're only getting half
Adam
the
just
story.
You're only getting half the story.
So anyway, I wrote there's no rhyme or reason to Harry's visions, and by that I guess I just meant there's no whose point of view, who is he supposed to be seeing from normally? Is it Voldemort?
I think it's okay, so we talked about this because we were like, is it that he has been planting these visions in Harry's head this whole time to try and get him into the ministry? It's always been a part of the plan.
But this is the problem, is he saw through Nagini's vision.
Yeah.
This is the thing that throws all of it off.
But remember, we talked about this as well,
so
that we're
annoying.
pretty sure that was because Voldemort was looking through Nagini's eyes at that moment, and Harry like kind of hijacked it by accident. But then that's why we also think that there's a link between him and Nagini as well, because of the like Dumbledore moment where he wanted to like bite Dumbledore, but that was because Nagini accidentally saw through Harry's perspective. But I don't think we ever get actual confirmation about that. This is just us. This is like HP anxious canon.
But then we still have the same problem that we have from like book 4, where he sees the entire.
Oh yeah, no, that will never be explained. We don't know.
It's just
Adam,
like,
we never get an answer to that.
I wish it was cleaner. I wish it was like a little more straightforward. That's all.
It makes no sense that the 4th book specifically, that one makes no sense. There's no reason for that to be from that perspective. Yeah. And I think it will always just be like, if someone actually asked her about it, I don't think she would actually have an answer. I truly don't.
No. She would never answer a question anyway.
Yeah. But that's the thing is I'm like, I understand every once in a while there are things that like, it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be something that's a bit of a mess up. But I was like, why would she do it like that if she did know she wanted Voldemort to come back? There was some type of connection with him and Harry in the long run. So why is she having Harry have these visions without having the whole thing more fleshed out? Because if he is going to have a vision, she should already know somewhat why Harry is having the vision.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, he just has a vision because he has a vision. It's like, no, okay. But then he would have to be like omnipotent or something. Like,
there's like no rhyme or reason. Yeah. What I said.
Yeah. And we never get an answer. It doesn't make sense. But every other vision that he's had, like in this book, from book 5 onward, makes sense. But the book 4 one never will. Because if it is because of him being like a Horcrux and stuff, then it doesn't make sense.
Right.
That one.
The book 4 one will never, ever make sense.
No, it won't. Because it doesn't. But it's just dumb. Because it's like, well, then why did she have that? You can't just say, oh, I just want to include this to include it. It's like, but there's a reason then that character is having a vision specifically. Like, I just don't understand it. Because you're right that if had it been from the perspective of the snake, but we know it isn't because of this, how the snake like comes past Frank. That vision was basically from Frank's point of view.
Yes.
There's at no point in that. Because he has visions later. Yeah. Like where the chair gets turned around and he sees the baby Voldy.
Yeah. Baby Voldy.
But he shouldn't because this is taking me back to when we had this conversation. Because weren't we like, is he facing a mirror? Like we kept trying to find a way to make it work, but it just like couldn't work.
No, it doesn't make sense. So as I said, Ron is in shambles after they land. Hermione and Ginny less so, but they are relieved to like be back touching the earth.
Yeah. Feet on the ground.
They get into the telephone box where they have to like state their name. Yeah. And Harry, he like announces that he is like all their names. And then he's like, we're on a rescue mission.
Yeah. We're here to save someone.
So then the name tags all say like their name rescue mission, which is so stupid. They come down the elevator. I feel like it needs to be harder to get into the Ministry of Magic. I got to be really honest.
Is this proof that Voldemort has already infiltrated the Ministry and he's found a way to make it so like someone is off?
That's a great question. That's what I thought is like either like the security guard works for Voldemort or something. But that also feels very like series of unfortunate events too.
Yeah, like convenient. Like,
yeah.
Because once again, if it's the Ministry of Magic, it should be very much like protected. Even
it's like the Capitol building. Like what?
Yes. It's the same thing that we were talking about with like
Do
the
we
security.
think Parliament
this
just
security
like
is lax.
nobody is there even when even in the middle of the night there's no security guard walking around Parliament.
Yeah.
I don't know.
believe that.
I don't know. Anyway, they get downstairs or they get to the entrance atrium, which is what I'll say that it is.
Atrium.
And just Mama, she's deserted. Like not a soul is there.
Not even a lone security guard. This is what I'm saying. So it has to be like you said, 2 a.m.
But places like this aren't empty. This is
No,
when
I know.
the cleaners
That's
come.
why it's weird.
This is when there would be house elves. First of all, you know that the Ministry of Magic fully employs house elves as cleaners.
More than Hogwarts, yeah.
More
the
than
most house
Hogwarts.
elves ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know they're bebopping around, cleaning the flue.
Clean the flu. Clean that flu network up, girl. That's never
Yeah.
used.
Never used. And then I had a question, because they have to get into the lift to go down to the Department of Mysteries, which I think is on level 9 or something like that. Were they lifts before Muggles invented elevators?
I don't know what to tell you.
This is like the Hogwarts Express question, where it's like before trains, how are people getting to Hogwarts? Because the lifts are just elevators. They're magical elevators, but they're elevators. You know what I'm saying?
Is a lift, isn't it just an elevator at the end of the day?
It's just an elevator.
Yeah.
It's not even the great glass elevator like from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where it like goes this way and this way.
But Muggles are just so stupid. How do they survive?
Dumb as shit.
How do they make it in this world?
So they come out into the Department of Mysteries like the foyer. Mm-hmm. And Harry's like, maybe a couple of you should stay here and like be a lookout, let us know if somebody comes.
Stay behind.
And Ginny's like, and how would we let you know? Hello?
You could be miles away.
We don't know where the fuck you're
huge.
going. What are we talking about? She's like, no, we're all going together. So he's still trying to be like, you all shouldn't come. Because he does want to be the hero alone in this. I have to point it out, but it's fine.
You think he wants to do it all by himself?
I think there's a part of him that wants to do it all by himself, yes. I do think more so it really is that he wants to protect them and he doesn't want them to like get hurt. But I think
I don't think so. I think it's he's annoyed with them.
Oh, I don't know if he's annoyed, but I think the like him not wanting to, or them, what am I trying to say? I think him in my version where he's doing it because he wants to like protect them. I think intrinsically he's saying like I'm stronger than, or
I'm better
like,
than you.
I'm better than them.
That's
and they
what
won't
I
be able
mean.
to hold their own.
That's what I mean. That he's like, I can't be like dealing with you all right now. Like I need to just do this, like that type of thing. Because it's like I do think he cares about them, but I think there is like a weird little superiority thing going on there. Yeah,
so annoying.
Yeah.
So they go into that first, so it's like he's in his vision. They go into the first door from his vision. He's finally like doing it in real life. As soon as they close the door behind them, we're in that circular room, the walls shift and then they don't know which door is which seems to be purposeful so that you never know what you've come through. I think that's a fun little... I like that. I like that little clever...
Yeah.
It's fun.
Like similar to in the first book, how they had to go through the... What is it called? Oh my gosh. Like an obstacle course, like a magical obstacle course, basically.
Oh, yeah.
That it's like mixing it up for you so that you have to... You're tested in more ways than one.
But also it's a very clever narrative trick to force them to see things that they'll have
they
to
wouldn't
experience again
normally,
later.
Yeah.
So they walk through door number 1 and discover a room with a massive, like, basically aquarium. And in the tanks are floating brains.
Nope. This is the scariest thing to me in all of these books. What is that about, Adam? What is this?
What is
Are those
going
actual
on
human brains?
at the Ministry of Magic?
I'm afraid that those are muggle brains. Actually, if they're not muggle brains, if they're witches or wizards brains, that's even worse. What is this? I
It's all
really
bad.
don't like it.
There's no good explanation. There's no one where you'd be like, oh, they're doing medical testing. Medical testing is not happening here in the
No.
Department of Mysteries.
No. I don't like that they're just brains in some magical substance. Like,
Are
that
they,
makes me
like-
really afraid. Are they
Are they-
sentient, these brains?
Okay, are they
Whose
sentient?
brains are they, Adam?
Are they kind of like frozen so that they could reuse them if they need to? Is that what it is?
That's what I'm saying. The possibilities are endless, and it's
Horrible.
terrifying. It's
in
so
this
scary.
one, I will say this one like doesn't come back in them. It's just like
no, we never find out what this is about at all.
it's just like a Universal Halloween Horror Nights room just for fun.
They do come back into this room in one of the next chapters, so there's like a little bit more of this room, but we never
Yes.
get an explanation on like
But
what
in terms
this
of
is.
there's something that happens in another room that we're about to experience later
Yes,
in a
yes.
separate chapter that's like huge. That
Yeah.
doesn't really happen in here.
No.
But yeah, I mean, none of these rooms are explained. This is the whole thing. Is like it's the Department of Mysteries. She kind of writes the whole
It's so
every room they
scary.
walk into is just like the worst dream liminal space
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
ever had.
I mean, Michael was like, I'll wait till we get to it, but with one of the rooms, Michael was like, is that what that means? Like, is that what that represented? And I was like, I don't know if we ever actually find out. Like, I was like, I'm trying to remember. But the brain thing for sure, I know it never
So
comes back.
gross.
And it is terrifying. Like, I still think about this and I'm like, ugh. Like, I don't like it. It's so
something
scary.
something about the brains too. If they were just like in jars, like stationary,
Yes, no,
horrible.
it's- yeah,
something
still
about
gross.
them floating around. I in my brain hat.
Yeah.
I envision them like floating around like jellyfish.
Yes.
which is like
that's how I imagine them.
horrible.
Yes. Yeah.
Boo. No.
Adam, do they have like any like little, like, I know, it's just scary. It's just
And then,
scary.
like, what if it's what if they have like a bit of like the
That's what I'm
the
saying.
thing
The
that connects to the
cerebral,
spike?
like, yeah, spinal,
And they're
like
just, like,
cord or
tendrils?
whatever. Yeah. That's what I'm imagining. Like jellyfish. I think we find out because I think there's like, they have like little like tentacles or something. Oh, even worse for Adam.
This
He
is a
does not
full
like
horror.
octopus.
This is a horror show.
It is terrifying. It's the
It's so
scariest
scary.
thing to me. If I thought about it too long, it would keep me up at night because it's so scary.
I haven't
And
seen
they
this
didn't
movie in
do
a
it
while.
in the movie at all. I kind of wish they
Yeah.
would have because it's.
I wish the Department of Mysteries was scarier in the movie.
Yeah, it's not. It's not very scary.
It's just,
is it?
like,
it's like
dark.
spooky.
Yeah.
It's like a little spooky, but that's about it.
The scariest thing that happens in the book series or in the movies, I think, is like the Inferi.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I thought that werewolf was pretty scary, to be honest. But
Sure.
when Lupin turned into the werewolf, but obviously that's Lupin, so it's like we know who that person is at the end of the day. But in the fifth movie, the moment where it looks like the shelves are all going to like fall on them and crush them to death, that part is very scary. But once again, that's not like going into a room that is very scary. It's like an event is triggered.
Right.
It is scary. They don't really, I don't know. It's just not, even with like the veil situation, the dais, the archway and the veil and all that.
The
I
veil-
didn't think that was
I don't
as
even
scary as
reading
sounded.
it. I was like, it sounds so scary reading it, but it's only because you as the reader are just putting so much of your own imagery onto whatever it looks like.
Yes,
Like it's so
yeah.
sparsely written and detailed
Yeah.
that you fill in so many blanks.
Yeah.
So I was like, I would find it really hard as the like production designer to be like, how do I even
Sure.
design this
Yeah,
to be like
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
evoke the same feeling?
I think the main issue though was
Because
I
it's
think
so
it was
psychological
far
too.
Yes, but it was far too bright in the room in the film. I
Yeah,
think it should have
it's-
been a lot darker in there.
it's like a
it's like
stage.
very well lit. Yes. It is so well lit. I was like, well, that was your first mistake.
I think they try to make it feel that way because it's supposed to like mirror the beginning when he's in the Wizengamot. I think it's like supposed to like kind of parallel that in a way.
Right. Yeah, but make it darker.
Yeah. So Hermione, they come back out of this brain room.
The brain room.
God.
Terrifying.
And Hermione has the brilliant idea before the walls move again to mark the door with an X so that they know they've already gone through that one.
Very smart.
Once
Smart
again,
cookie.
She's
what would you do without her?
What would you do without her? Not even the Ravenclaw in the group came up with that.
Yeah. True.
Door number 2 they go through has a stone pit. We just talked about it. There's an archway in the middle on this like raised platform, and then a black like curtain veil drifting in the breeze, as if like somebody had just walked through it. So it's like like when you walk through a curtain backstage, or like or the thing that they always tell you where you're like, if you walk behind the back curtain,
yes,
like
it
walk
ripples
slowly so you don't ripple it. Yeah. And Harry becomes very enthralled by it. Yeah, transfixed is the perfect word. He like almost walks up. He can hear voices. He like steps onto the platform to see if he can like get to see like what's behind the curtain. And Luna also is like, no, I can hear the voices too. And I think Neville has a reaction.
Neville and Ginny. It's the
Ginny
four
does
of
as
them.
well?
Yeah, it's only Hermione and Ron that aren't really pulled in by it for whatever reason, which I'm so fascinated by what that means. What does that mean?
Because I thought it was just the 3 of them, and then I was like, oh, okay, so it also has something to do with like they saw someone die. Maybe Ginny too, because she was possessed.
She was kind of close to death.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it was spooky.
But yeah, like reading this whole section, I was like, I don't even know how would you film this?
Yeah, I mean, just make it darker, girl. Just make it dark in there.
Yeah.
And really ominous, you know? I'm trying to think of if there's okay, so a great example obviously is A Christmas Story.
Christmas Carol?
The spirit of Christmas Carol. Yeah. Oh yeah. Christmas Story is the
leg lamp.
Bunny. Yeah. The leg lamp. A Christmas
so
Carol.
Spooky.
He's so scary. Terrifying.
Ghost of Christmas
in A
Future.
Christmas Carol. Yeah. The ghost of future yet to come.
Christmas yet to come. Yeah.
Christmas yet to come. I always think that is so scary. And it is literally just because it is like the most ominous, like, just a dark hood that you don't know what's underneath, which is once again why I think the Dementors became less scary, because you end up seeing what's underneath and then you're kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
So I think if it was done in that kind of way, maybe where it was more, because with the veil, no, but she talks about in this book how you can see the other side of it. And there's like nothing there.
Yeah.
But I just think it would have been more impactful if it was darker. Because like you said, it was like a stage.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think that worked.
Why is I don't remember if we get an explanation as to just why this is even at the department. Why do they have this?
That's what Michael was like. That's what he was asking. And I was like, I don't think we ever really know. Are they just studying it?
The people who work at the Department of Mysteries, the Unspeakables, they have to just be like weirdos.
Is it just like traps?
They have to have
people?
seen shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'd ever want to work there. Who's working in that department?
Can you imagine having to go to work and then every time you try to like go into a new room, the doors change?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. You're just like,
you have to be like, I'm just trying to get to the fucking break room.
Yeah.
I need to pee.
I just want to take my lunch.
Yeah.
I have a 15 actually. I
have a 15 and now I'm wasting time trying to figure out which room I need to go into.
And so unfazed, like every time it's like spinning around you, you're just like,
cool.
Fun.
So Hermione is able to get Harry away by like reminding him about Sirius, which kind of like snaps him out of it, and they all kind of like come back out of the room. Door number 3, locked tight. Nothing's gonna open her. That's the break room. Canonically, that's what I'm calling the break room.
And that's how we were in the car, because we were listening to the chapter in the car on the way back, and he was like, "Do we ever find out what was in that room?" And I was like, "No, no,
it's the break room. You need your badge to scan, and then it opens.
Maybe we do find it. Maybe in the next chapter we do find out what's in that room. I can't remember
When they're running
But yeah,
around.
we'll go with it's the break room. And there was just like one single person in there like eating their sandwich.
Yeah, just on their phone,
Yeah.
playing like Candy Crush.
Yeah, exactly.
On their break. Hi.
Yeah. Can I help you?
The
This
Department of
isn't the
Mysteries,
room you're looking for.
I don't think every department should have someone working 24/7, but the Department of Mysteries, I think, needs to have someone on duty at all times.
Yeah.
And they should probably be stationed in the room with the fucking veil, so nobody falls through accidentally.
Yeah. But they don't have security cameras, girl. That's not a thing here.
Or security paintings. They don't have
No.
anything. No art on the walls. Very sparse. Very minimal. Minimal
Yeah,
aesthetic.
come on. Minimalist, yeah.
Okay, door number 4 is the correct door. As soon as they open it, they see like the shelves
Yes.
of the glowing orbs, and he's like, "We're here." He knows from the vision that he had that it's row 97.
Great.
They are currently at row 53. So they find row 97, they walk all the way down, and he's like, "I know Sirius Black is here, bound and gagged. We're going to find him. We're going to free him. It's going to be great. We're going to fight Voldemort." He's got the whole thing figured out. Now, I do want to say, I think it's interesting that it's row 97.
97 line, John Cook.
Well, because 97 is the year of the Battle of Hogwarts. Technically.
Ah, interesting. I wonder if she had that in mind already.
I wonder, because she's always so specific about picking numbers.
Yes, right.
But that's probably not the reason. Because I don't think she actually really cares about the year that the books happened as much as I think the fans
People
are.
think she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, can I say this before the room of the shelves? They go to when they go through door number 4, they're first in a room where there's clocks all over the walls. And there's a bell jar in the room. And in the bell jar is a hummingbird that keeps like, and it's an egg
right.
that like keeps hatching and turning into a hummingbird, and then it like comes back and goes back into the egg, and it like keeps doing that.
Yeah. It's time.
Sure. What has four legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night? Man. We love the Odyssey.
Man.
Mom's giggling. She liked that one. Okay. Glowing orbs, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Okay, this was my note. They get to where Sirius should be, and guess what, Mimi? Guess what? Mimi, I'm first was number 1 in the fan voting. I could not believe it. Guess what, girl? Sirius ain't here. Nothing.
He's nowhere to be seen.
Not here, girl. And Hermione is immediately like, Harry? Which I think is so funny that she's like,
Harry. No one's here, Harry.
Harry?
Nobody's here, girl.
Harry starts looking in every row like, oh, maybe he rolled over into row 99. Who knows?
Yeah. Tumbled around. He just tumbled about into the next room.
And then as Harry's like running around trying to find him and being like, fuck. Ron is like, hey, Harry? And Harry comes over and Ron is pointing at one of the balls, one of the glowing orbs, has a yellowing parchment beneath it. And on that parchment from 16 years ago is written SPT to APWBD, Dark Lord and ? Harry Potter. Now, I'm going to say this. I think the Department of Mysteries needs a better categorization system, because you can't seriously be telling me that initials are the best way to remember every one of these prophecies.
There's a more detailed record somewhere. Has to be.
It's like the Dewey Decimal System. Like, it's got a number, and then you go find what the number is, and then you go to the card catalog and figure out like who wrote it and what the genre is, and blah, blah, blah.
What's the genre?
Ooh. So, spoilers for those who have not read the full series. But honestly, if you're listening to this podcast, you read the full series.
Yeah, you probably don't care at this point.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
SPT is Sybil. I don't know her middle name. Penelope Trelawney.
Yeah, Penelope.
Is it? Would you even know?
Sybil Pepperoni Trelawney. No.
I bet I'm gonna Google it, because I bet I'll.
Yeah, it's there somewhere.
Somebody knows it. Sybil Patricia.
Patricia. Okay. Patty.
Sybil.
Come on, Patty.
Come on, Patty. Sybil Patty Trelawney to Albus Percival Wulfric. Brian Dumbledore. Dark Lord and ? Harry Potter. The question mark is very important. Very important. Because we are not sure if it is Harry Potter.
And the other person that is there is another person there that this also could have been about. Can you imagine?
Okay, but
they are there as well.
Okay, but can I ask this?
Yeah. Can you imagine if I was like, no, keep going?
This is gonna get in the weeds on the prophecy, so I apologize, because we are kind of jumping ahead. The prophecy was the baby who was born on July 31st or whatever.
Yeah, correct.
Which is either Harry or Neville.
Correct.
And then because of the actions that Voldemort takes, basically it ensures that it's Harry.
Yeah.
Could Neville have also picked up this prophecy?
That is a great question.
Since the original prophecy could have been about either of them?
Yes. I think at the end of the day, this prophecy really is more so about Voldemort and how he's kind of selecting his own destiny.
Sure.
Like, he's going to ensure what his own fate is because of his own actions.
Right.
But I don't know
Hubris.
I don't know if once the prophecy is like assigned to someone, if then the enchantment means only that person could pick it up. I believe that. I believe it's like only this person could select it to protect said person. So I don't know if it's so much about what is being said in it. It's more how the Department of Mysteries has decided to protect the prophecy.
So
I don't know.
Is it once it's like categorized, that's when it like is has the enchantment put on it that it's.
That's just me personally, what I'm making up. Yeah. I'm guessing.
Because my other question is like, I get that like nobody else but Harry. Which, like, isn't it about Voldemort? So couldn't Voldemort really grab it?
Also, Dumbledore was the one that is mentioned in it. So couldn't Dumbledore get it too?
And
I don't know.
But like, I get fine. If you're not mentioned in it, fine, you can't touch it.
Yeah, whatever.
I still don't understand how Voldemort can't touch it unless it's because he's not the original Voldemort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Voldemort 2.0.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
iOS.
I don't know.
iOS Voldy.
Yeah, I don't know.
But couldn't you just like use like garbage pickers. Just
Yeah, to get it. Yeah.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
Well, muggles are stupid, Adam, so we would never use a muggle device. I mean, come
true.
on. No, that's a great question, and we'll probably never know because that makes me really think about, couldn't Dumbledore get it? I don't know.
Couldn't Sybil get it?
Yeah, couldn't Sybil get it if she wanted
She's not busy.
She's the one that made it. Oh, she
She's the
doesn't
one that
even
made
really
it.
know she made it.
Yeah, she doesn't even know she
Yeah.
made it. She's like, oh, I did? Of course I did. Yes,
Yeah, of course. I
absolutely.
mean, yes, that was me.
That was me. Yes.
Sybil Patty.
So Harry reaches out to grab it, despite Hermione being like, I don't know.
I wouldn't do that.
I don't think that's a good idea. And he's like,
Once again,
it's
Hermione's
mine.
always right. Minus when she told Harry to just try harder at occlumency. But
That's
also,
the only time in this whole book she's been wrong. And when she was like,
yeah.
hey, we wanted you to kill our teacher for us to the centaurs. That was
yes,
the other time
right.
she
And
was
then
wrong.
that moment as well. Yes.
That's it. There's only 2 times. Mm-hmm. She's fully like, you probably shouldn't touch that. And he's like, it's got my name on it.
It's addressed to me.
It's not a piece of mail, Harry. It's not like
This isn't like book 1, Harry.
Bro, I saw the funniest tweet the other day where it was like the scene in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone when he's like trying to grab the letters
Yeah.
and they're all coming out everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're like, and I'm supposed to believe that he's the best seeker in a century and he can't even grab a letter.
I mean there's multiple times where he technically could have actually gotten one and read it. I always think that in that scene that I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not buying this. I'm not buying what you're putting down.
Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Chris Columbus.
Sorry, Chris.
So he reaches out to touch it, does not listen to Hermione's advice, grabs it, pulls it off the shelf, and immediately a drawling voice behind them says, very good, Potter. Now turn around nice and slowly and give that to me. Drawling is the key word there, by the way.
Drawling.
That's how you know who it is. There's only one family of characters that speaks in a drawling voice. Yes.
And struts. I will never forget that TikTok you sent me of Lucius Malfoy if he slayed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Was that
And
Yeah, it was a TikTok.
Yeah, it was a TikTok. That's it. That's the chapter.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
We're so close to being done with this book.
I know. I was like, we have 4 more chapters.
Yeah.
And then we're done. And then it's the movie. All right, that wraps up this chapter. Next week, we'll be reading chapter 35, Beyond the Veil. We do have a comment. What is that?
What's beyond?
Oh, Beyond the Veil.
the veil.
I was like, what's happening here? We do have a comment. It is from Ergo Blaze. Is it Ergo or Ergo? How would you say that?
Ergo.
I would say Ergo. Ergo Blaze. They said, hi, just wanted to say I love your podcast on HP. It brings back so many memories. Started in the middle of book 5 and I'm watching the start of book 5's podcast while waiting for new eps. Thanks for turning us against Harry because he's a bad friend and bad character, etc. I wanted to say I think them not going to London directly is valid because it might be seen as skipping school without a valid reason. I don't know how boarding school works, but like you mentioned previously, it's very rare that any student left Hogwarts during school term. Oh, this is about the train?
No, this is about if they had, I think it was, we were talking about he had just flewed to Grimmauld Place. If he had just gone instead of just sticking his head into call.
Oh, okay. The mirror thing sucks because it's used as a plot line for subsequent books. I see it as a parting gift from Sirius and nothing more. Even Sirius doesn't use the mirror at all in this book, which is questionable. I think it was mentioned in previous episodes when Harry was trying to verify whether his father was really a jerk or not. He was. I don't know. Sirius could have said, I gave you that mirror, remember? Yes, thank you. That is what I am saying. I don't know why it never gets brought up, because it's like, he gives him that mirror so they can communicate. So even when Harry himself doesn't initiate it through the mirror,
it
Sirius
becomes a thing
could have
later
been like,
that he tries to like use the mirror to talk to Sirius in the afterlife. But
Yes.
Sirius didn't have the mirror with him when he died.
yeah. And it's just very annoying because
Which also
Sirius
could
could have
have
been like,
still-
I gave you that mirror.
But also,
Talk to me there.
He doesn't have the mirror when he comes to in next chapter when he comes to the Department of Mysteries.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the mirror, so you could easily still have Harry reach out via the mirror and then him not answer, and he gets frightened because of that, and that's why he thinks he's been taken.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't answer the mirror. So you still could have incorporated it and still had the plot work the exact same.
Right, but she incorporates it and then doesn't use it in this book even once
And
until
then
like the
uses
very
it
end.
in the other book.
Yeah, and then use it in the next book. Girl. Thank you so much, Ergo Blaze. Yes, we agree. We concur.
Slay. And tell us what ANWW means.
Oh, yeah. And tell us what ANWW means. We don't know. We love hearing what you guys think. Keep leaving comments. Keep leaving reviews. Keep rating on Spotify. Thank you. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you find your podcasts, as well as video versions on the Ampliverse YouTube channel and Spotify. As always, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so that we can get a perfect Newt score. 5 stars only, or else you will be thrown into a tank with a bunch of swimming brains. Because that sounds like probably the worst thing ever, and Adam is doing something else because he didn't react.
Awful. It's disgusting. Swimming brains.
Adam trying to prove he was listening.
No, I was totally listening.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at HPAnxious, or YouTube and TikTok at the Ampliverse. We are hosted on Spotify for podcasters, so thank you to them, and are a proud member of the Ampliverse. Check them out at theampliverse.com. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
And as always, Knox.
And as always, we know about our zits. You don't have to comment and let us know.
And as always, we know about the zits, okay?
Okay?